Good morning, YouTube. I'm going to continue the theme of political discontentment across the state and across our country. I'm downtown along the Great Miami River by Washington Street, and that's I-75. Oh, well, that's actually US 35 overhead. But anyway, if you don't like what if you want to hear a positive message about the gay community and gay agenda, you better just go ahead and turn this video off. One of my regular subscribers, and I subscribe to him and vice versa, Mike Apocalypse Doomer, and I'm sure he's going to watch this video, and I'm sure he'll probably agree with almost everything I say during this video. He talked about, you know, the gay agenda or the gay mafia, you know, being a problem in this country right now, which it is a problem. Here's the thing, people. You know, they've already bought our Supreme Court. Our Supreme Court, you know, interceded on their behalf and made, you know, gay marriage legal just a little over a year ago in this country. And our Supreme Court has no business, you know, legislating from the bench. So when you have these idiots that are buying the Supreme Court, I just chose this as a backdrop. It'd be a good backdrop for the video along the Great Miami River. But anyways, they've bought the Supreme Court already, and you know, they've already built themselves up a very powerful lobby, even though they're only a very small percentage of people. But yet we've been bullied and we've been intimidated and bamboozled by them. So, you know, this is a major problem. Recently, the NBA commissioner, it was announced last year that he was threatening to move the All-Star game. You know, Adam Silver, who, as far as I'm concerned, he's nothing but a commie piece of shit as well. To people like Adam Silver and the NBA, it is none of your fucking business to be interfering in state law. And to states like North Carolina, you know, as gun owners have the right in certain states to stand your ground law, to the legislators in North Carolina, stand your ground on this issue. Because, you know, we cannot be bullied and, you know, intimidated, you know, by this, you know, small but seemingly very, you know, powerful lobby. You know, they like to throw around the term, you know, bigot and racist, you know, a lot, you know, these days in regards to this whole issue. But anyway, you know, and then last year, you know, we had that law over in the state of Indiana, which the governor Mike Pence signed, who is now Donald Trump's running mate. But of course, he later rescinded the law because he was bullied and intimidated. And all in these companies, they said, we're gonna make sure events don't go to Indiana, major sporting events, and vice versa. They're trying the same thing in North Carolina, although North Carolina's only got 2 major sports teams, or 3 at least, and it's a much smaller market. But when we allow lobbies like this to control our country and to bully and to, you know, and to intimidate people into accepting their beliefs, that becomes a major freaking problem. Then you know, and you know, I don't want to see them, you know, ostracized or, you know, intimidated, you know, the gays themselves, okay? You know, I don't want to see people do harm or violence to them. But, you know, then, you know, this is really fueling a lot of anger and a lot of hate, you know, across this country. You know, as it is, you know, right now, you know, by people are tired of these dummies, you know, forcing their beliefs down our throat. Then you gotta wonder, You know, after that recent nightclub shooting down in Orlando that happened last, month, and yet the gay agenda and yet the gay mafia and lobby is saying, oh, we need gun control. It's pretty stupid for them to say they need gun control, which if they're so intimidated that they have to be, making laws and creating such a powerful lobby, to have courts, Supreme Courts and vice versa, and other businesses in their corner to try and intimidate people. Who in the hell says they need gun control after an event like that? And you know what, as far as I'm concerned, when you say that, oh, we want gun control, makes you wonder why. And as far as I'm concerned, you basically lose all credibility when you start saying, oh, we need gun control, I want gun control. Why is it that the gays want gun control? That's a very good question. Because you would think that common sense would say otherwise, that they would want to arm themselves if they feel so intimidated that they have to, pay all this money to the Supreme Court and vice versa. Because they've clearly bought the Supreme Court. They've bought, various companies, because companies are saying, oh, we ain't going to do business in North Carolina. We ain't going to do business in the state of Indiana, and vice versa, and so forth. So you see why they are a huge problem, why this agenda is a massive problem, because they're shoving their beliefs down people's throats, and it's gotta stop, people. But we're in major trouble as a country right now. With this upcoming election, I don't think I've ever seen tensions, so high. And of course, the piece of shit mayor that we got in this town, Dayton, Ohio, she's a big champion of the gay lobby and gay mafia and gay agenda. Hell, after the Supreme Court issued that rule in making gay marriage legal in all 50 states, hell, within an hour, hell, maybe not even an hour, she was already performing a marriage ceremony. Let me tell you something, people. What the fuck is going on with that? A person who's a politician performing a marriage ceremony? Are you fucking kidding me? And then the gays are so, and their lobby are so intimidated. They're saying to states, oh, don't pass anything that would allow the regular, ordinary person to say, oh, we won't do business with you, or that we have a right to turn you away for service. I got news for you, people. We got to stand our ground. We have the right to refuse service to somebody, whether they like it or not. I recently got into I got into an argument with somebody I know about this. She said, oh, I work for the government. Oh, you can't say that kind of racist, bigot shit. This is telling the truth, people. If you don't like it, then that's tough. But yeah, their lobby is a massive problem. There's something else I'm going to say about this too. It'll come back to me in a second, but yeah, the other thing I'm going to say, basically, this type of lunacy and type of stupidity, what's next? Are we gonna sit there and tell a local home contractor or your local electrician all that, you have to accept a bid on this job, and if you don't, you're a bigot, and vice versa? That's the type of lunacy and the stupidity that we're heading down as a country right now, people. So basically, just imagine and as private business, private businesses have the right to refuse your business. It ain't like government crap. Obviously, you're not going to be able to tell them, okay, you can't get health care coverage, or you can't ride public transportation, or you can't ride an airplane. But the NBA is sticking their nose, and they're a private enterprise. Private enterprise has no business sticking their nose into state law where it doesn't belong. And we need to support states that and politicians who are not afraid to take a stand on the truth, who will not be bullied and who will not be intimidated by this lobby. But yeah, the type of lunacy that this is heading down as a country, people, we're gonna end up we've opened Pandora's box. It's kind of funny. Like the other day, I was listening to sports radio, and Stephen A. Smith, who I respect his opinion on all things, he was talking about, the Tom Brady case and the Deflategate case with the NFL, all how the courts don't want to open Pandora's box on the CBA collective bargaining. But to people like him, are you honestly think that could not happen? The Supreme Court last year in this country opened Pandora's box on the gay marriage issue, and because of that, they're going to be flooded for the next 15 or 20 years with cases that results of that. It's going to be the same thing that happened with the abortion cases with Roe versus Wade. 43 years later, our courts are still being flooded with this issue. And so anybody that's so naive to think that our courts, given how they've been bought, by the gay lobby and whoever else that's a lobby, going forward, that they won't open Pandora's box and other issues. Are you fucking kidding me? But I think, getting back to what I was saying, businesses have the right to refuse your business. If you are a privately owned business, you have the right to refuse business. When we start, getting into conversations and arguments, you got to allow this, you got to allow that, and vice versa as a business, and we're trying to bully and we're trying to intimidate private business, we've opened very dangerous territory as a country, and we just cannot simply allow that, to happen. So, I'm definitely interested to hear, what some of my subscribers like Mike Apocalypse Doomer, who I'm pretty sure I pretty much summarized his thoughts on this issue perfectly. I'm pretty sure he probably agrees with everything I've said about this, issue, but we've opened Pandora's box as a country in regards to this stuff, people, and it's got to be stopped. I don't want to see people get discriminated against, but I don't want to see certain groups and certain lobbies overstepping their boundaries and bullying and, and also intimidating people to get their way politically and socially. That's not acceptable. But, right now, we're heading in probably the most divisive election that this country's ever had, or at least probably the most divisive one since probably, I don't know, the civil rights era, maybe even longer than that. But we're heading towards the most, divisive election that we've ever had, as a country in a long time. Maybe the most divisive one ever. So, Ohio right here where I live at is, ground zero for political stupidity, political boondoggle. It's a, it's been a major swing state for a while, and the last time that a president won the White House without winning Ohio, you got to go all the way back to 1960 with John F. Kennedy. But anyway, so it's time that we start standing up to, government and politicians overstepping their boundaries on issues like this, as well as businesses who think they're going to bully and also, and also intimidate people. So the NBA, the Supreme Court, whatever, stand your ground, stand for what you believe in. People, don't let these idiots bully and, intimidate you. And the gays are symbolic of a group that is trying to bully to attempt to get their way. I mean, that's what they're doing. So, you know, and you know, so the gay lobby, you're fucking hypocrites. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't want people to bully and fucking intimidate and harass you, but yet you have to bully and fucking intimidate other people just to get your fucking way, you know, with your lobby and your agenda. But anyway, YouTube, I'm gonna wrap it up on this one. You know, so, you know, we got to stand up as a country. You know, don't let these groups, well, no matter whether they're gay, lobbyists, or whoever the hell they are, intimidate us any longer as a country. That's it for this one.